This is World Kick Legend. Today we're going to show you how to put the backhand gunting into your sparring. So I'm here once again with Kurt at MKG Detroit, and he's going to talk about how to implement the backhand gunting in various scenarios.
Okay, so we're talking about implementing dirty boxing tools into sparring. Just seeing the game of sparring for what it is, not necessarily worrying about combat applications or fighting applications, but just when we're playing a glove sparring game here, can we put these tools in? And yes, we can. So here's a good place for the backhand gunting. So the backhand gunting, if you're not familiar, is we're just looking at a tight cross parry and letting this sneak up here. So left hand across, this rear right hand is going to come in a backhand motion. So when Roy feeds just a little bit of an elbow flare in his jab or a tight hook, I'm going to parry the glove and hit the bicep here with mine. Again, one, and hit. If you just turn quick, see both sides of it. When he feeds, hit here, and hit. So one of the things we have to immediately be mindful of is that from this position, that rear hand is something we're going to have to deal with, right? So I'm going to break this into 3 options that you can drill and then implement into your sparring. So the first one is to practice this tight backhand gunting and just put this up right away just to have some defensive structure. Simple enough. Again, one, and put this up. One, put this up. And then we can, right away, even with this up, go ahead, add this rear hand. So we can, right away, even with this up, add that shot. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Second option, backhand gunting here, and then jam this right away and throw that hand. So whether we're seeing this as blocking, trapping, stuffing it, whatever you want to call it, it's fine. We're just doing something to account for this and then throwing that shot. Again, 1, 2. 1, 2. So if you turn it, 1, 2. 1, 2. Third option. We practiced the backhand gunting and his cross comes in. And we already know that this is happening, so this gives us the opportunity to do a little chess, not checkers kind of approach to this. So we do backhand gunting and step out here and split that shot that we know almost certainly is going to be firing down the line. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And we have the benefit of, from this gunting position, of already being half the distance between our bodies, roughly, if not even a little further. So it doesn't take much for this to sink in. The timing of it ought to be really great. I've seen it score a bunch of times on both the giving and the receiving end, and it tends to work pretty well. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Move here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and whatever your follow-up will be.
So if we're calling this 1 and this 2, and like this doesn't feel too fast, right? It almost feels like panic cake. Watch how fast the half beat feels. Right? One end, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, one end. Right? So he has to really be moving even to make that work at this speed. So just something to think about when you accelerate this to a half beat. He's not being a jerk, that's just how fast it really is.
So we all know with sparring that it's very easy to say, well, we're going to go at a set pace, 40%, 50%, 70%, whatever you're setting. And then one of the people in the exchange turns one part of it up. And then the other guy says, okay, well, I'll turn it up to their level. But the first guy's saying, well, I didn't know we were going to turn it up. And so we go, we go, we go. This is going to feel like that, exactly as Roy's saying. To have this sort of pace kick off in something that otherwise is this kind of pace isn't meant to ramp both sides up, and it's not meant to make hard contact. It's just meant to practice this technique in flight.
Okay, so let's say he reads it wrong, he thinks the cross is coming in, he comes out, and I'm just hitting that kick. I might get him, but watch what happens if he really just pushes that even just into my chest. Right? Right? He's not even going hard, and that easily disrupts my balance. So it is true that I might get him with another tool, but if he's really giving that and thinking chin and below, it's going to disrupt my base if you're a little unsure about putting that as a pure headshot.
Right. So yeah, allow this to be what it is. Right? Something to try. In particular, if somebody's throwing just single shots like that, you can kind of pick it off just as a way to practice implementing it. And if you're going to put it as part of a combination, or if you're sparring with someone where there's a lot of action, then you're gonna have to hit it and move, or hit it and follow up. Okay, so for a more traditional approach to FMA training, we like to do a lot of trapping drills, a lot of flow drills. Helps to kind of get you into that flow state and get a bunch of reps in a condensed amount of time, condensed amount of space. So it's something you can do almost anywhere you are with a partner. And it's just a fun way to train, right? You get a lot of reflex training, a lot of good hand-eye coordination, that kind of stuff. So, it's gonna start feeding a wide on one side. I do backhand gunting, open this up, and backhand just to fill the line, right? Then he does on the other side. I'm already halfway there. So I do backhand gunting here, open this up and fill the line, and he swings back and forth. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Just get a rhythm and stay with it. Yep. Turn this back. These are light shots, right? It's not so much about, these are light shots. I'm not trying to drill it. I'm actually missing his bicep every time just so that he doesn't have the shock after shock of these coming in. It just gets old after a while. And I'm not trying to make this too combative. It's just learning how to hit a speed bag or dribble a basketball, something like that. We don't need to do tactical basketball dribbling or combative speed bag. We're just filling lines. Second one, if you want to add a little more to this and you have some experience with this sort of training, so the wide comes in, we're gonna slide down and grab the wrist and put the elbow in so we can siko to the bicep, the chest, somewhere in here, okay? Then drop this hand down to scoop an uppercut, pull and backhand, and then he fires on the other side. We're right where we were before, backhand gunting, siko the arm, scoop an uppercut, back fist. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
So yeah, we want to present something that was out of this more traditional format and into more of a sparring kickboxing feel, because sometimes it's fun to put this stuff into your sparring and more, let's call it playful environment, because I think it develops attributes and just lets you have a little more fun with things. So if you like this kind of material, be sure to check out Kurt here at MKG Detroit and Ferndale for his dirty boxing classes in Cali. As well as Kick the Legend, keep your chin down, elevate your striking.